I'm standing at the front of apartment 332 on the top floor of the Saratoga wool store. I'm here with Rebecca Osborne and John Wren. I was first introduced to Osborne Co around 12 months ago, and since then, Rebecca and her team have become a non-negotiable part of my business. This is due to their tailored styling approach and their unique relationship with the local Brisbane artist, John Wren. I'm going to hand you over to Rebecca and John, and they're going to talk about their creation in this stunning wool store apartment.
A leading driver with the design of this project was the bold colours in the materiality of the build. In particular, this gorgeous New York marble. You've got this crisp white and these deep purple veins in the marble, contrasting against the dark of the floor and the kitchen was definitely the big inspiration behind the overall scheme of the project. So how we made this monochromatic colour palette interesting was picking different textures and finishes within in the textiles. So things like beautiful velvets in a jacquard, you've got the soft leathers, teamed with boucle, like this nice sort of fluffy texture here, and then more of a refined linen sort of texture in the chairs. And then to contrast that, you have like beautiful buffets, very sort of simple geometric patterns. I mean, if you're working with a very simple colour palette, I think it's important to keep those textures interesting and different, not to make the whole design seem quite flat. The owner was quite clever in the design of this particular project. So working with a renovation in the wool store, you're governed by a certain footprint. So with this particular project, they were able to get 3 bedrooms in, plus utilising this little angled space here, which we thought was perfect for a home office. I mean, these days everyone's working from home, or at least needs the ability to, and what better than to create this beautiful mezzanine. You've got the height of the ceiling, the fresh air, the light coming through, and we thought it was just the perfect home office.
So getting a scale of how vast this space is, we really needed to have artworks large enough, but also with a colour palette that was somewhat subdued and muted, which I think then kind of helped not only the space that it's surrounded by, but also how you feel when you actually enter the room. So with this particular piece, we've gone for softer, more organic lines, which is then kind of replicated in the textiles with the couches, but at the same time, you've still got that harshness and richness of the old antique floor. Alternatively, too, on the opposing wall behind us is one of the newer works that we actually produced. So this is part of a Red Line series. This is really trying to invoke, I guess, that industrial feel, almost the New York loft kind of apartment when we're approaching these kind of works. So we wanted to create like a deep, almost dirty green, which kind of reminds you a little bit of moss. But again, too, with the Coco Republic furniture that Beck absolutely loves, you need to have that division of line and that cutting of a space to be able to actually exaggerate each and every element of this room, but also then highlight the beauty within each individual piece of furniture.
Evoking that emotional connection, I think, with the property as well, which I think is important when you're selling a property as well as living in one as well, because at the end of the day, it's how do you feel when you walk through those doors. So it's elevating the existing, what's here, and just making it just comfortable and enduring, and yeah, just something that you're proud of when you're coming home to.
I think it's important to understand with any of these projects, it's not one single person actually putting the whole project together. We've started with George creating this beautiful property. Ben Percival always gets us the most beautiful, beautiful properties to be a part of. So when it comes down to me, I don't know how you feel, Beck, but we're so focused on just creating something so blindingly beautiful that's why I got into art. That's why I'm guessing why you got into interior design.
Yep.
You just really just want to create something beautiful. So it's a gift to be able to be given these properties by the likes of George, and then being able to then continually have it sourced by Ben and Josh from the Percival Property Group. It's I don't know, it's quite a unique little world.
Yeah, we're very grateful to work with such an amazing team. I think we collaborate so well on the design, and like you said, we all have our own little part to play, and the end result sort of speaks for itself.